Hello and welcome to Pro Cycling Manager 2018. Today we will be starting a new Let's Play where we will be a pro cyclist, single player mode pro cyclist. And here, well, we will take it in a slightly difficult way. So let's see first, before we start up the new cyclist, the settings that we have. So for difficulty, we will be playing on extreme. We'll make it a little bit more difficult than just extreme. First of all, when we choose a team to join at the start of the game, we will join a continental team. Not Continental Pro, but a continental team. Most people will join that kind of team, so why is that extra difficult? Well, in our game, we're going to stick with that team until the very end. We will never join a different team. So in order to get to the higher levels, we will need to really keep performing for our team to actually get our team to the higher level. And that is of course not just up to us, it's up to the entire team. And to get there, also one of the extra difficulties that we will be imposing on ourselves is we will follow every request that the team manager has. If they want us to relay for a certain amount of time in a race, we will always do that. If they want us to protect another rider, we will always do that, and so on. Another modification that we put in is a frequency of falls times 1.5. It's a little bit more realistic in my opinion. I've seen other people the stream videos play at times 2. It's a little bit too much, I think, especially in rainy games, in rainy races, when there's a lot of hills and with that downhills. The amount of falls get to a crazy amount, and in the end it's just make sure that you stay up front and you will gain time on others, and makes it a bit too easy. So times 1.5 I think is perfectly realistic and doesn't give any type of advantage. Aside from that, all the starts are, well, all the difficulty settings are simple, nothing else changed. So as for the choice of database that we will be selecting is the World Database 2018 with real names, added races, real shirts in. This is made by the community. Was out already actually on the day of the release of the game, which is a week ago now. Really good work there. Yeah, very little else to say about this one. So let's go on and create the game and see if we can start our rider. So for this one, we will be creating a time trialist rider, but instead of just making it a time trialist, we will make it an interesting one. Let's see. So first of all, some of the information that you need to know about this first page. The name, it doesn't really matter. The region, well, we'll get to that in a bit. Height, it has an impact on the game, even though you see it doesn't. Basically, the only impact that it has is visual. If you make your rider as small as possible, I think it's like 150 centimeter, yeah, then you have a very tiny rider when you see him in the race itself. I will give him my height, 181 centimeters, and I will give him my weight back in the day when I was actually cycling, which is 70 kilos. Unfortunately, I am no longer cycling, but that's a different story. So all of this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of face you put here. It doesn't matter skin color. It doesn't matter the weight. A 99 kilo rider in this game can go up a mountain as easily as a 50 kilo rider. This is just for, yeah, just for yourself. So for region, this makes a big difference though. It determines which teams you can join at the start of the game, and with that, which type of races you end up getting. So for example, let's say a Colombian rider. I made a Colombian rider in the past to see a bit how that would be. Colombians are known to have a lot of climbers. Of course, in reality at the moment there's also a very good sprinter from Colombia, but normally speaking most of the Colombians are climbers. And yeah, it's interesting to start one from there. However, if you select the Colombian team to join at the start, and you will have other options as well if you select the Colombian rider, but still, if you select the team from Colombia to start with, there's barely any races to right at the start, so we're not going to go with that. Instead, we go with one of the European teams, which gets a little bit more gameplay, basically. And aside from just that part, we'll take one that also has a national championship in the game. I don't know if every single European country has a national championship set up in game, but I wouldn't be surprised if a country like Bulgaria or Croatia doesn't have it set up, and you cannot get the national jersey showing up on your page. It's not a huge gameplay difference, but it is a small difference, and yeah, it's more fun if you can get to do it like that. Normally, as I'm from the Netherlands myself, I take that one. This time I'm not gonna do that. I'll go for the UK, something different for a change. So let's go for a fun name. We have let's make it Stevie Swift. In Dutch I would name my rider Robbie Rap, which basically means the same thing, something quick. It doesnn't matter what you pick as a name. Stevie Swift it is. Stevie is very swift, and especially in time trials. So let's see. Stevie will start as a 19-year-old rider. You can start with a little bit older. If you start as a 19-year-old rider, you will start at the lowest level in the game. If you start a year older, you start with one level more, and so on. You can start until 22 years old, but with a 19-year-old starter, you get to choose a little bit more how your progression goes. This year, in this version of Pro Cycling Manager, you can choose when you level up if you get stats directly added, or if you want the potential to increase. And with that, the younger you start and the lower level that you start, the more you can play around with your rider, and you can make him really turn into what you want him to become. So also new in this year is that we can choose a main type of rider, the same choices as in previous years, but you can also choose the secondary type of rider. So instead of just making a sprinter, in this example that was automatically selected here, you can make, for example, a sprinter that also is actually quite good in the mountains. Doesn't make a lot of sense, perhaps, directly, but if you see the difference, this particular type of rider would start out with 1 point less on flat, 1 point less in sprint, acceleration the same, downhill the same, everything basically the same, 4 points higher on hills, and 10 points more on mountain. This is a huge difference. Plus also the potential is a bit higher on mountain at the start. And it's difficult to get that combination in normally. To get mountain stat and sprint stat, because if you add potential to a sprinter, usually the mountain skill goes down as a potential, and the other way around. So there are all sorts of possibilities now. In our case, we go with a time trialist. Let's see first. You have just a time trialist without anything else. You start with 72 prologue. This is a very high skill. Prologue mostly counts on lower level, lower distance time trials. 5 kilometers to 20 kilometers, it counts more than time trial above. 20 kilometers time trial starts to count more and more. And if I'm not mistaken, at the 40 kilometers, only time trial counts. Perhaps a little bit less than that even. I don't remember exactly. So this is interesting already as a start. We are very good. If you start with anything in 70, that's already very good. But we kind of want to also be able to ride in the stages, big stages. And with that, we really need to have more mountain skill. Perhaps also more recovery. Now, nothing else gives more on both of that than Stage Racer, which obviously, I mean, if you want to reach stages, Stage Racer. Stage Racer would lower our flat rating a little bit, gives us a little bit more mountain and a little bit more recovery. That little bit more is quite a big difference. You could also choose Climber. In that case, we don't get added recovery. We get a lot and a lot of extra acceleration and a lot more mountain. We also get a little bit of hill. We do lose, in this case, a little bit of time trial skill. In my opinion, this one is a little bit more fun to play though. I mean, to play around in the mountains. It's more fun. Stages are more, I don't know, more challenging. You don't end up in the pack all the time. So outside of the time trials, this rider will not be at the start very strong at anything. You have a 68 on downhill, which is nice. Downhill alone will not make you win anything. We have a good acceleration, but compared to sprinters at the start of the game where we're playing against, they will be in the low 70s. We can't really do too much, especially in the final sprint. We can just as well not even try. Flat we can go long, mountains we can do okay, hills we can do okay. We can at least try in this case to get away from the pack from time to time and get some mountain jerseys, for example. Could be fun. As for the potential, Grand Champion gives you the highest potential at the later end in the game. You can choose lower ones, but we're gonna go for a Grand Champion in this case. We really want to win the Tour de France, the Giro, the Vuelta. This is kind of the way to do it. So, it's not that easy though. I mean, if you would go directly for a stage racer or just a climber with stage race, or it would have been a bit easier. This way, it's a bit of a challenge, but that's okay. So next up, we get to choose our team. And well, let's see. We can, as I said, we will go for a continental team. We're not going to go for this team. It's from the US anyway. We want to go for a UK team from the UK. Makes more sense, right? So we can choose between JLT Condor, which kind of is a stronger team. We wouldn't even be the best time trialist. We wouldn't be the best mountain rider. The rest we wouldn't really be that great. If we join Team Wiggins, we would be really good compared to the rest of the team. It has its advantages because you can really lead the team. You get people to protect you in the races. It's easier in the stages. However, I like a bit of a challenge at the start. I think this one is a bit more interesting. Plus, for the long term, it's a little bit easier there. If we want to progress with this team into the Continental Pro rankings, we need our team to have at least a few good riders as well. So it might be a little bit more difficult in getting the team to ride for you. However, on the other hand, in the long term, we get to promote a little bit faster perhaps. And with that, in the end, we want to make it to the main tour with this same team. Let's go for this one. On a completely different note, I like this shirt much more than the other ones. Okay. So, into the actual game, and the first thing I always do is check the schedule. Make sure the schedule is okay, and make sure that the training accordingly is set up as you want it. Now, let's wait a few seconds for this to start. There we go. Start messaging, which is, I think, the same as last year. Pre-season, set the season objectives. Well, that's exactly what you want to do. But first thing, to set the objectives is to see the schedule. And I always work backwards for this one. So, see first, in the last part of the year, which race is most interesting to you? Now here we see already it's going to be tricky. We only have 5 races that we can race in. 2 of which we do not qualify for yet. We need to first win a race in order to qualify. So for this exact time schedule, August until December, we can choose one of these that will be our target, our objective for this part of the year. So let's see which one that would be. Which one is most suited to us. So this one first, the classic van Midden-Nederland, middle of the Netherlands. Very boring flat stage, I would say. The next one, kind of the same. It's just too, I don't know. We have the Kustpijl, which is a piece with a lot of cobbles. We are not very good at cobbles, so yeah, let's not go for that one. Then we have the Gooise Pijl. Kind of similar. I think it's actually the same race for how it is, for how it looks for the where the cobbles are. I don't know. Not really what we really want either. So then we have two other options, but we can only race them if we win a race before the time we get here. It's a little bit tricky. We can choose them, but if we choose that one and we don't get to race it, yeah, we lose a potential bonus that we could have had elsewhere. So the Japan Cup Cycle Road Race, weird name I would say. Yeah, it's has some hills, but I don't think this is really our type of race. So that leaves the Tour of Britain with eight stages. And the advantage of selecting a long stage race as your season objective is that if you do get to race it in this case, you will have that bonus modifier if you make your fitness peak, if you meet your fitness peak there. You get a +2 daily conditioning on every single race. So 8 stages of a +2 instead of just 1. That's valuable. So I tend to go for stage races, but let's see if this one would suit us, because this one is not very mountainous, the end is kind of flat. This one, yeah, not really. It's a time trial. We can definitely make a difference there, so that's good. Could be. This one, not really. This one has a sneaky little hill there in the end, but all in all, I don't think this will be a big race for us. And this one, not much either. So this entire stage, for us, it's kind of only stage 5, the time trial, 16 kilometers. Now, we can definitely make a difference there. Who knows, by that time we might have leveled up a bit. And it's not really like we have a lot of other choices. So we're going to take a small gamble here, and we're going to go for this one as our season objective at the end. It's already set as an automatic. So then the other one, the next one, is May to July. So let's see what we have available in May to July. So this is June to July. At least we have some races here. However, a couple of them listed here are national championships that we cannot join, like Ireland. And yeah, for Britain itself, I don't think we will have a lot of chance in winning anything. The time trials, you'll see the previous year's winners, I think. No, we can't see it here. But yeah, Britain has a lot of good time trialists. So I don't see us winning this one. But who knows? There's always a chance. Let's see what else we have as options. Grand Prix Kranj from Slovenia. It's a very nice ending to it. 2 nice mountains with a downhill end. That's definitely interesting. Tour of Alsace, 6 stages. We cannot combine it with the Grand Prix of Kranj. But let's see how it is. First one ends nicely up. Second one is flat. This one is marvelous. A lot of hills at the start. Nice big one in the middle. Small one here, and then we end it again at one. If the speed at the start is high here, we could lose some people not making it back in time for the end of the race within the time limits. Stage 4, again a flat one, another flat one, and then we have another one of those. Yeah, start with hills, mountains, I would say. A little bit of getting back some energy, and then going up a long one that is not followed directly with a downhill. A little small peak, and I think quite a few people will fall off just at this point. They cannot go over this small peak here. And then, yeah, the downhill, another small hill. The end is not that steep here, but after something like this before, you don't want to do this anymore. It's going to be very tough. This is a lovely race for us. So we're probably gonna try and race this and not this one. I'm not making the changes yet, but we're keeping this in mind. Then we have the Grand Prix International Torres Vedras. 4 stages. A hilly time trial, 8 kilometers. Keep in mind, if this is 8 kilometers, it might look like it's flat here, but this is like 20 times as long. So that little hill that you see stretched out here over 8 kilometers, and it's like a little bit here, that would have been something like this. So this is a real big hill. This will make a huge impact. This is a stage where we can make a big difference as well. And then another, this is really a hilly one, nothing really strong though. This is, let's just ride the same round each time. Small spiky peak here, but nothing too fancy. And here one that again ends on a small hill with a small mountain before. This is another tricky one. It's an interesting tour, this. But I'm happy that we don't have this one as an automatic one, but this one is nice, but we cannot race this as well as the CBU cycling tour. I can give you some extra information, personal information. I'm actually living in CBU these days. It's a very interesting tour, and seeing I'm recording this one on this date, this is actually when it starts. This year actually we started on the 5th of July with the prologue. So in real life this is a coupled prologue. Unfortunately in the game it's just a normal flat one. Well, fortunately for our rider probably. But yeah, it's a really nice race. The second stage, just some hills, no peak. And then we have stage number 3 where we go up the Paltiniche mountain. It's a really beautiful mountain, but it's also a really steep one. This one will break everyone in this little tour. And then followed by that we go again into the mountains. It's a long, small rise, little bit, and then we keep going up, keep going up, keep going up. And then we get it into the steep part after going up for basically like 100 kilometers only going up, and then you get the steep part. Then you go down a bit and then you go again. Then you go down a bit and you go again. This is really tough. And then we have another flat stage to round it all up. But basically we have this stage, and the opening time trial, the prologue. It's a really nice tour as well. Seeing this one is already selected, I'm gonna go for this one. And then we have the Tour de Alsace as well. So we can choose which one we want to target. These are both really great. Seeing this one is just after the other one. This one, we select this one as our target for the year. We might get a little bit of bonus on this one already. So we're gonna go with Tour de Alsace as our target for the year. And all the way at the end. And for that we need to make sure that we ride it actually. So no crunch, but yes to Alsace. And that's already 8 points out of the 15 that we have, so we can make a lot of changes. National championships, of course, we will be riding. And that means that we will not be riding this one. I'm not going to opt out of a national championship. We can't even, so this one is not going to be it for us. Then we have the Tour of Malopolska. Let's see those, because we did not automatically get registered for this. First stage would not be much for us anyway. Second one is hilly, but not really something for us. Third one, well, could have been interesting. Instead, we were automatically registered for the Ober-Österreich Rundfahrt. Now, I know I've seen this one in previous years. This one is really tough. You have the prologue, 15 kilometers hilly. But again here, this ending part is really, really tough. Really interesting. Really great for us. And the next stage starts with a big mountain, ends with another two. This is a small little peak here at the end. It's a lovely stage. This one, well, it's good for sprinters, not really for us. And this one, well, also not as much for us. But we would have to make the difference here at the start of the tour in this one and this one. I really like this one, so we're definitely gonna ride this one. And the last one that we have in June as an option is this one. It's not really for us, so I'm not gonna select it. And we have the April and May, and let's start with May, because that was still in that same group of time that we had to, well, we kind of already set our season objective. So we have Wallonia, we're automatically selected for this. This is a flat race with cobbles. Totally doesn't fit us, but hey. We have this tour with 4 flat stages, but then a 39-kilometer at the end. 39-kilometer hilly time trial. That's gonna be great for us. So that's okay, we're gonna stay in that. Let's see, this is a flat one. This might be an interesting one actually. CCC Tour. Another ride in Poland. Very hilly at the start. Never flat. It's gonna be very annoying for most riders. Second one, well, it's a little bit easier for riders, but definitely not that easy either. It's a tough. All the peaks here. So not an easy one for the riders. This one is for sprinters. I don't know. It could be interesting. We could do it, but I'm not really convinced. That is something that we should join in. This one, nah. Also too flat. This one has nice hills at the end. Oh, we're automatically registered for it, so yeah, let's stay in that. We could, instead of this one, also ride the Tour of Yorkshire though. So let's have a look on the Tour of Yorkshire. 4 stages. First one is flat. Second one is even flatter. Third one says it's hilly, but it's, yeah, and this flat is still for sprinters. Yeah, the Tour of Yorkshire is not really for us. So we have Skive Lubet, if I pronounce it correctly. We're automatically registered for this. We're probably gonna support a sprinter here because this one we have no chance of winning anything. Some more rides. This one similar, also in Denmark. We're not gonna really do anything ourselves there, just help our team. We are in April at the moment, so if we see something interesting that we want to set as our objective, we can. And that's flat. 7 flat stage race. 7 days flat stage race, not really for us. Flat, maybe a little bit hilly, but with cobbles, also not for us. 5-day stage race, also all flat. Automatically registered, so have a look. We're not gonna win anything here. 4-day stage race. Well, this one could be interesting. This is the flat stage. Then we have a hilly stage, but not really that hilly. Then we have a team time trial. The black one is a team time trial. White is an individual. And yeah, it is flat, but yeah, time trial. And then the last one with a it's best so far. We don't have anything else yet, so let's see in the first 3 months. Maybe there's something interesting there. So, oh, we don't have the standard 3 opening races. Usually you have the SIA Trophy game, the SIA Trophy races, 3 races where you get to start in at the start of January, but we don't have those. So our first possible race is only in February. That's interesting. So let's see, what else do we have. This one, not ready for us. 7 stages race here, all flat. Starts with a prologue with 4 kilometers. We're not going to make any differences there. So we don't really want that one either. We don't have it selected anyway, so it's okay. Grand Prix of Sochi. Flat. A time trial over 25 kilometers. That's interesting, at least. This one looks very much like a race that we saw a little bit earlier with slow start and then all sorts of steep peaks there. It's very good for us. This is not for us, but all in all, this is the most interesting race I've seen so far for us, so let's continue. 5-day stage race, which we cannot do at the same time as this one, so we have to see. Nice end peak here. This one ends to be, this would have been a nice end for us, but no, this one is too flat for us, so we're gonna stay with Sochi. We already have that one. And then we have the Istrian Sprint Trophy. 4-day stage race. Starts with a prologue. That's always good. Small ending going up as well. That's also good. And a hilly stage. It's not that hilly, but this end part is nice. Here again it ends uphill. This one is really for the sprinters. This one is interesting. We can definitely do this. We're selected for it, so that's also good. The UMAC Trophy, not selected for us, not really for us either. Isola, not selected either. Tour of Antalya. Ooh, I like this, how it looks. So we start, well, this is mountainous. Well, there's definitely a mountain in there, but probably nobody's gonna speed up here. And then the entire pack is still here, and we will just have a sprint finish. So, yeah, not that great. Then we have well, this is a flat stage. This is not a flat stage. I mean, it's basically the same as this one. It's just not as high in the middle. You go up, you go down, and you end flat. Sprinters will, yeah, there's a small bit here at the end, but it's still a sprinter stage. Then a 13-kilometer mountain time trial. Well, this is as good as it gets. I love this. We definitely are gonna race this race. And this one is flat again. So the Tour of Antalya we're gonna race just because of this. And this might make a difference in us actually getting far into the Tour, perhaps in the overall classification, who knows. Then we have the Grand Prix Laguna Poec, if I pronounce it correctly. 1-day race. Yeah, we're gonna race it. Doesn't block anything else out, but I don't know if we're gonna do much. This one is a 6-stage race in Colombia, so I'm guessing this one has quite some mountains. And the first stage is completely flat, as I say that. This one ends a little bit uphill, but this is still a sprinter stage. Still for sprinters. There we go. Nice mountain here. Flat, but this is really steep. This is really steep. This is great. Then here, another one. Great, strong ending. And another one. Yeah, I don't know why we were not automatically selected here. But seeing we have 8 points that we have as proposed changes so far, we have 15 points. This one costs 7 to add. Definitely gonna add this one as well. Thinking even if we should make this our... Now we can't make this our season objective because we can't train in races before. So otherwise I might have selected this one. This is really, really nice. But instead we're just gonna go with the Grand Prix of Sochi. With that nice, that's the one with the nice time trial? No, this one is the normal time trial. Oh, that was the Tour of Antalya. Yeah. Was there anything in April worth doing? Is it this one? This one was interesting as it looked. Wasn't really anything in April, so we have to kind of choose something here. Should we go with this one? Some nice end finishes. Sochi, yeah, it's a nice time trial on this peaky thing. But this one is just a 1-day race. Oh, it's pretty tough. Should we try Tour of Antalya? Really early in. Well, this one is really nice though. Let's give it a go. Let's try Tour of Antalya as our season objective. We have to confirm our changes. Yeah, 15 points. Okay, no points remaining. Unless we level up, then we get more points, but we should. So as a season objective, we don't select this one, we select this one. This one, the one that they had selected, is very interesting. Let's go for this one. So after this, we have to select how do we start a preseason. Slowly, already at a very high fitness rating. Basically here you can check, but if you select very high, then later on in the season you get tired more easily. Seeing in the first month we don't have a single race, there's no need to go very high or even high. You can go with low or normal. I think I will still go with normal instead of just low, because I want to really be fit at the start of this race. This is going to be, this stage we want to win. It's going to be very tough. We want to get very high up. So let's see. This is it. Let's go to the office, accept, confirm that. And with that, I'm going to leave it at this for this episode, and then tomorrow's episode we will have some actual racing in there. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you're interested to see this daily video, and see you next time. Bye!